Okay.
All right, we are recording. Hello to everyone who showed up, and also hello to my co-host, my fellow player. I am Owl, and this is an FPS. Uh, and I'm playing Shorts Kid because who else do I play other than a mouse who is definitely not owned by the Disney Corporation? Uh, Shorts Kid is a wizard and generally well-meaning, and today they're having an FPS with.
Charlie, except I'm not Charlie, I'm Kai. I am playing Charlie. Actually, no, you know what? For now, I am fucking Charlie because you know what? That means the shit that comes out of my mouth is not my problem, it's his.
That
Because,
sounds very Charlie like. I'm not gonna fucking lie.
yeah, no, yeah, I'm gonna say this game is picking up not quite where Stage Fright left off, but probably like the week afterwards. Charlie has spent the past week kind of mentally and physically retreating from like the entire Dodo Studio fam. He's not in a great mood for a number of reasons. And so yeah, he's a very grumpy kitty, and that's why I'm no longer Kai. I am Charlie, and that makes it my problem. Fuck, this was a bad
Our
idea.
problem. We are Charlie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is absolutely fine because conflict in a story is good. And don't worry, we have talked this all out ahead of time. We're all good, and we're gonna have a good ass time. There's no need to be worried or anything. So, I am saying that because I feel like I need to do a disclaimer because some people get really concerned when they hear like characters not agreeing with each other, and we're telling you we did it on purpose.
Yeah, like things are gonna be okay, even if there are arguments. Like arguments are allowed to happen. This is fiction. It's all right.
Exactly. So I'm letting you guys know this. And so let's just dive right in, shall we? Uh
Yes.
so Charlie, I'd imagine you're at home right now.
Yeah, he'd be lounging about in his flat, probably doing a little bit of kitchen cleanup after like an explosion of Ellie trying to cook breakfast for her dad's. Um,
You're gonna
so,
kill me.
but
I love that.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, he's probably not doing very much.
But you hear a knock at your door. Just cluck cluck cluck.
Just a minute. Dumping some dishes back in the thing, turn around, and like, yeah, all right. Unlocks the door, opens up.
Uh
Hello.
there's no one there. There is, however, a an envelope that has been sealed completely with horrible Lisa Frank-esque stickers and covered in glitter glue.
Well, at least it's not the kids that like ding dong ditching around this place. So you know what? Charlie will take it. And it very carefully picks up this glitter glue laden envelope.
Some of the glue comes off on your hands.
That was inevitable.
It's pretty fresh. But uh so you now have this envelope. What do you want to do with it?
I mean, supposedly bring it inside and open it.
All right, so you head inside, and you have kitty cat claws, so it's actually pretty easy to get through these abominable stickers. And
I
to
gotta know. I gotta know. Are they like puffy 3D stickers?
no, they're regular stickers, but they're like the shiny kind.
Okay, that's still good. Not as good, but still good.
Yeah. So you manage to slice open this thing, and out comes, surprise surprise, more glitter and a little confetti, and there is a note in there.
All right, yep. I like Charlie is going to be very careful and not dump all the glitter and confetti out onto the table. And then no, wait, he does that anyway. It's Finn's job to clean the living room this week, not his problem. And lets the glitter go everywhere to so he can actually get at the letter and have a read of it.
Okay, so you open up this letter, and you take a look, and instead of being written in anyone's like hand or penmanship, uh, it is a piece of white office paper that says "From the desk of Bob," And on on this piece of white paper, there are cutouts, magazine cutouts of letters. You know, like when someone tries to send someone like a ransom note or whatever, they like cut out the letters and they're like blah blah blah. So, and your note says this.
Dear Charlie, please come to diner. Not to dine at 4 p.m. Alone, hugs and hugs, aninimas. Right, well, this sounds like a fantastic idea.
So, what's Charlie thinking?
Okay, this has come from the desk of Bob, which means it's got to be someone at Dodo Studios. Considering the glitter and confetti and everything, it's gonna be one of the kids. Considering that there's still a decent amount of confetti, it means it likely wasn't Snailian, because otherwise they would have eaten half of it. I'm gonna say it doesn't take exactly much effort to deduce who is Aninimas.
Yeah, I did that on purpose because I wanted Charlie to know what he was walking into.
Yeah, I think this is the point where Charlie just kind of like he's gonna be staring at the letter for a little while, just kind of like rubbing at his forehead, getting glitter everywhere without realizing it, obviously. But yeah, he'll sigh and put the letter. Actually, no, you know what? He'll take the letter with him. He will put on his jacket, stuff the letter in his pocket, and head out. And we'll realize halfway through walking wherever, when he catches like a reflection in a shop window or something, that he's got glitter all over his head, and dust that off.
Just shake, 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 shake.
Yeah.
So, you decide to head to Diner Not to Dine, and to the diner it's to Diner Not to Dine. It's a pun! Okay.
Oh, God.
I did that on purpose.
Why?
Because I love puns. But, you know Diner Not to Dine, because it's actually pretty close to your flat, and, it's a pretty decent little, like, hole-in-the-wall diner. They have really good milkshakes, and, surprisingly are one of the only diners that serves, like, chicken nugget baskets. So, like, you can get whatever you want. You can get, like, a hamburger, or you can get chicken nuggets, and, they tried to do, like, tacos for a while, but, like, that did not end well. Mostly because, like, just trying to focus on too many things at once. If you're a taco place and you try to make, like, I don't know, like, Mont Blanc or something, I applaud your initiative, but that's gonna be a little hard.
Yeah, like you don't let the menu get too complicated. Otherwise, it's yeah, too many plates in the air. But yeah, I think Charlie's just gonna sit down and order himself like a soda because he doesn't really plan on staying for long, to be honest.
Okay, can you please roll, perception?
Okay.
I'm gonna say with advantage because you do know that, someone is coming to meet you.
That's a 14.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll, real quick.
How stealthy can you be?
Nat 20. Well, not dirty 20, sorry. So you are keeping an eye out. You're scoping down this actually pretty cozy little diner. The lighting is comfy and the seats are actually plush and like soft and they're still vinyl or whatever, but like they're comfortable to sit on and there's a real homey atmosphere. You've definitely taken Ellie and your and Vin, your boyfriend, here once or twice, and you don't notice as there's a pop underneath your table. And
have I just teleported in there?
yeah, you look out the window and you're just like, God, I know some shit's gonna go down today. And then Shorts Kid slides up from under the table and into the seat right next to you.
This child is like still staring out the window, then catches like a little bit of movement out of the corner eye, looks around, shows me, Jesus!
Shorts Kid
Kid?
beams. You got my letter!
Sure did, Space Cadet. What do you want me for?
I have a business proposal.
Alright then.
I heard that you're supposed to do business stuff over lunch, and well, we can get lunch here. And Shorts Kid waves a hand, waves down a waitress, and says, "Can I have the big chicken nugget basket and a strawberry milkshake?" And the lady nods and then turns to Charlie to see what he would like, if he would like a refill on his soda or anything.
Nah, he's only drunk like half of it, so he'll just raise his glass like he's good here, thanks.
Shorts Kid says, "Do you want anything? I'm paying."
Nah, had a incident at home's kind of put me off food, but thanks.
Okay. And the woman just kind of she checks it off and says, "All right, be right back." And she wanders down behind the counter and says, "Hey, Bill, we got another one for you."
I'm not quite sure what you're meaning for me to do with this, Al.
I'm not. It's flavor.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
So
I think
yeah.
Charlie's just kind of gonna sit there just watching Shorts Kid for now. He's not staring or anything, but he's waiting for whatever is inevitably going to happen.
Shorts Kid then basically plop rubs her head up against his shoulder. Because like what is friends if you don't greet each other with a hug? Also, Charlie is very soft and it's nice.
Shorts Kid will at least get a head scruffle from that. So your hair is now an absolute mess, if it wasn't already. And Charlie, like it's not a hug. It's not a hug. But by the time the head scruffle is over, like he did kind of shove you kind of back to your seat.
And Shorts Kid just giggles because this is Charlie. This is very Charlie, like toe to tip. That's a Charlie, and just goes, okay. So I have a plan, and it's kind of a business plan, and I know you're good at business, or at least good at knowing how businesses are supposed to look. And I didn't want to ask Bob because I don't think he'd really like be into this kind of idea, and I don't want to ask Dad either because I don't think he'll be into it either, because like it might be a little, and they make like a tiny little space between their fingers, a little dangerous.
Are you asking me to lie to your dad about whatever business plan this is to get him in on it for you?
I didn't want you to lie. I'm mostly telling you if we go out and do cool businessy stuff, you can't tell him.
Yeah, nah, kid. Sorry, not gonna happen. Like, I love you, an old space cadet, but I don't want to get on your dad's bad side.
You wouldn't have to if he just doesn't know about it.
He will know. Like, as a dad, let me promise you, he will know.
Will you at least hear out my idea?
Yeah, sure. Fire away, space cadet.
Shorts Kid then reaches into their pocket and pulls out a tiny little folded up square that's very thick of paper, and then begins comically unfolding it. And it takes about like 30 seconds, just because they are unfolding it so many times.
Oh, jeez.
They set it down, and it covers the entirety of the diner table.
Can see you thought this one out a fair bit.
Shorts Kid beams and says, "Yep." And across the top of this giant blueprint says NASA. And then the woman comes back and says, "All right, here's your treats." And she sets them down. Shorts Kid pays her, waves. And so now there is a large blueprint with a bunch of notes written on it. There is NASA in big letters at the top, and there is also a basket, a fairly large basket of chicken nuggets, and I would say a small strawberry shake.
That's like so pretty decent lunch, at least. Yeah. Is there anything Charlie can do to kind of have a better look at the plans and try and figure out what the fuck they're for?
Yeah. I would say like if you want to see what they're if you want to figure out what they're for, you would have to roll int. If you want to see if you can notice more about the plants themselves, get a big read on the whole picture, I would say int. Or investigation, sorry. I can't say words.
Yeah, okay. It's a +1 if it's investigation, so like, eh. Yeah, no, Charlie has no idea what you're doing.
You can't make heads or tails of this because, like, God, this handwriting is so bad. Also, that's not how you spell that word. He doesn't think, but you can't tell. Also, there's like diagrams, but they're not well done. And just
I would like to point out, Charlie is like mildly dyslexic, so that doesn't help.
exactly. So not only is it terrible child writing and very confusing diagrams, but you're dyslexic, so it's all kind of floating around the page anyway. You have kind of a
Yeah.
little headache from this.
Yeah, this is more or less what he was expecting from this meeting.
You can roll int to see if you can just, figure out sort of what this is about.
Okay. Could I argue insight, trying to figure out what Shorts Kid's on about?
Yes, I will say you can do insight.
Okay, good, because that gives me a +3. That's still a fucking 8.
You have no idea what this kid is going on about. You don't know why this giant roadmap of a piece of paper covered in confetti and glitter, and also just, you can't read it, you can't see it, you're just, what the heck is going on? And Shorts Kid is just sitting next to you, kicking their legs back and forth on the chair, looking excited and eating a chicken nugget.
Not many construction sites would really expect a blueprint written in glitter crayon.
Oh no, it's glitter marker.
Right, yeah, because they'll obviously upset that. What is this place? NASA? What, like, I know you've got some space tech. I know you've got some absolute nonsense tucked away. But, like, what is this?
And Shorts Kid just grins and says, "It's the National Assistance and Support Association."
Okay. And what does the National Assistance and Support Association do?
It helps people. Specifically, you know how we went to the creepy pizza place and there was that dumb clown and a bunch of other stuff?
Can I get you to roll insight for a second?
No, I'll do that.
That's a 6. Okay. Yeah, no. You notice absolutely nothing amiss. Yeah, Charlie just kind of looks at you for a second and it's just like, yeah, I remember. That was just last week.
Okay, good. Because I've been thinking about that. I've been thinking about it a lot. And I don't think the Jester is right. I mean, I told him that to his face, but I still don't think he's right.
How so?
Well, he thinks that people, if you enable them, will do bad things. But if you enable them to do bad things, or to do things that could hurt them, of course they're gonna do bad things or things that could hurt them. So I want to offer a rebuttal just so we can level the playing field. I want to make a business where we enable people to do good things. And we help them when they have an urge to do something good or something that could just be like, it could go either way. I want this business to be able to give them that chance. Just to, if it's really a whole like question of, oh, if you have a person and they're totally chaotic and they have access to everything, are they going to make a bad choice or a good choice? Well, if you only give them access to the stuff that lets them make bad choices, you're swaying the game in that side's favor, and that's not a game, that's just rigged. So, even if I'm not right, I think it's better to have an even game than to have something that's definitely destined to be rigged to one side.
Oh boy, oh boy. Okay. Charlie is just kind of gonna watch you as you do all this and then just like deep breath in, hold it for a few seconds, and jeez, okay. I
Yeah,
mean, you've got the right idea, Kip. It's a hell of a lot more complicated than that, though. How would you even help people? Because I promise you, there are plenty of people that do want help that would love to get the sort of help that they need, but I don't know how you can go about giving it because it sure as fuck ain't worked before.
and Shorts Kid cocks their head and goes, "That's kind of where you come in,
Oh?
cause I know you, and I know you're really nice and you're good. But I know that you've had like things in the past where like maybe you haven't made the best choices, or maybe you have made the best choices, but they haven't ended up in the best way for you. And I'm just thinking maybe you know a lot of people like you."
I'm just like, how to summarize Charlie's backstory in like a handful of words? uh,
And if you know more people like you, that means we can go directly into the crux of people who are right in the middle of making decisions that could help them or hurt them.
Shorty, I know a lot of people that need help. I know a lot of people that need help, but trust me, if there was a way to give them the help that they need, they wouldn't be in the situations they're in. And I'm like, because the problem is, it's not just people not getting help, it's the fact that there are other people who are actively taking that help away from them. And whenever you try and help, whenever you try and do anything, it just gets worse.
So I can understand that because I'm not exactly the good kid you think.
Eh, good's arbitrary.
It is, but I try to be good. I like to be. And I think that's an important part of everything. But when I first got here, I wasn't planning on staying long. I was just going to gather all of my space bars and then go home, and it hasn't really worked because the space bars have been messed up. But while I was still collecting them while they worked, I might have hurt people. I mean,
We do a lot of things when we have a goal in mind, and yeah, not of all of it's the best decision.
yeah.
Most we can do is just try and be better as we go along.
And Shorts Kid looks at you right in the eye and says, "Exactly." Which is why maybe if when I had crashed, if someone had helped me, I wouldn't have hurt people in my desperation to get all of my space bars back. And I wouldn't have been standoffish either if there had been someone to befriend me. So I think providing love and support to others changes the game. Even if we can't fix what's automatically wrong at the heart of all problems, we can still help. And that's why it's called the Assistance and Support Association. Because even if we help and then something bad happens, we did our best. And then if we help and something good happens, then you have even more people who are willing to help other people.
That that gets Charlie to just laugh a little bit, and it's not a very happy or nice laugh. He leans back, drags a hand down his face. Problem with all this, kid, you still haven't said how you're gonna help people. It's all and well to have all these great intentions. It's all in like all and well to be go like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go out and help people. How? What are you gonna do? Because if I knew how to help fix the bullshit so many of my friends have been through, then I would have fixed it instant I fucking got it. Like, love and support's good, yeah, God, I know. But there's only so much that you can do.
Shorts Kid nods because, yeah, they know this. There is some stuff you just can't fix, and they go into how they can't go home again because space bars are broken, and there's not really any way to fix that. But if Train Dad hadn't taken them in, Shorts Kid would be way worse off. And if he hadn't helped Shorts Kid, chances are he wouldn't have helped a bunch of people at Dodo Studios. And if the people at Dodo Studios hadn't gotten help, then all of their families and stuff wouldn't have had help. And just one little action, like just one thing, making one friend and making one family member, leads to a huge ripple. Doing what you can leads to more people doing what they can, which leads to things that people have done. And those things can be great. And Shorts Kid gestures down at the blueprint, and this time starts using chicken nuggets as little like D&D figures, sort of, just like little place figures. And that's where you realize NASA's blueprint isn't a blueprint. That's why you couldn't make heads or tails of it. It's a map.
What sort of map? Because there's lots of different types of map.
It's like a map of, specifically, it's a map of Lower Inkwell, around Toontown and the Uncanny Valley and all that other stuff.
Alright, then what's this place meant to do? Like, help people, yeah, but what's it meant to do?
Okay, so this chicken nugget is you, and Shorts Kid takes a bite so it's vaguely cat-shaped, and sets it down. This one is me, and it's just a regular chicken nugget, and we're right here. We're in Toontown, and we're at the diner, right? And then this chicken nugget, and they take a bite out of it so it looks kind of like Train Dad, that's Dodo Studios. And we already know that Dodo Studios has helped a lot of people, and we also know, Shorts Kid takes a burnt chicken nugget, that there are people who want to do bad things just to do bad things, to wind it up, let it go, and see how awful it can get. And this chicken nugget is the Yakuza, and they Shorts Kid tears it up into a bunch of pieces and then just puts the pieces surrounding Toontown. So like it's there's a map, there's you, there's the Dodo Studios, there's the Yakuza surrounding it. And Shorts Kid says, the main question of how to help people is how do we get all of the burnt chicken nuggets? And Shorts Kid gestures to the Yakuza. How do we get the burnt chicken nuggets either off the board or make them into unburnt chicken nuggets?
See, the problem is all these fellas, and gestures at the back, the burnt chicken nuggets, very careful not to touch them. He does not want glitter and chicken nugget grease on his fur. Problem is, like, even if you're trying to help people, they're just looking to help themselves. So if you're out there offering help, they'll take it, and they will take everything you've got.
And Shorts Kid nods and says, that's why I need you on my team. I don't think about this kind of stuff. I'm 8. I'm gonna be 9 next month. I want to help people, and I'm smart, but I'm not that smart. But you're really smart. You know this stuff.
I
You know these people.
know people. that I'll take. But I'm not a smart kid. I've just seen a lot of life, and I don't.
Experience is a type of smart, Shorts Kid says and crosses their arms.
Yeah, you're on that one. I don't think I'm the right person for this. I can tell you what those guys are thinking. I can tell you what they and I can tell you how they think, and I can tell you what they're gonna do if you tell me what you're gonna do. Because I know people like them. I know a lot of people like them, and I've had a lot of dealings with them. But it's kid. This isn't a business. This is if you're looking to run a charity, I'm the wrong person.
I think you're the right person. I wouldn't have asked you otherwise. I mean, I'm not that dumb. I'm 8, almost 9. I'm not stupid. But,
Eh.
oh, you stabbed me right in the heart, and Shorts Kid uses the chicken nugget to stab their heart.
Kid, you're eating chicken nuggets covered in glitter glue that you still got covered in you from the map. I think I have the right to go at you when you say yes.
No, you do have the right. I'm just being silly. And Shorts Kid then points at the map and says, what I want to do is I want to provide the NASA system to people. You say, how can we help these people when the problems that cause them to have to do bad things don't go away? Or they aren't abated, or there isn't anyone there to support them. And am I using the word abated right?
Beats me.
Well, I say I'm using it right, so.
The issue here isn't the people. It's not all these little burnt chicken nuggets and he knocks them over as he waves his hand about. It's not all of these. It's not something that can be fixed by you, knocks over yours, or your dad knocks over the engineers, and definitely not by me and just swipes his clean off the table. And it's not the people. It's the systems in place that are keeping the people where they are. And as nice it is, yeah, as nice it is to go starting up charities, to go wanting to help people, to like wanting good things to ripple out. I get it. Trust me. But if you give food to a person one day and then some man comes along and says, right, taxes mean you need to hand that over, then that person's still without food no matter how much you go to give them.
And Shorts Kid is contemplating the ethereal nature of government and taxes for a second. And then just kind of squints and goes, that's kind of why I want to build a place for people who don't have anywhere to go.
So, a shelter?
Sort of, but not really a shelter. I want it to be, like, bigger. And I want there to be more people. I want there to be stores and schools, and I want everyone to know that they're safe there. Because if anything happens, they'll bind together and, like, help each other and just make it so people like the Yakuza don't have a place to get a foot in.
Right, well, you run off and go establish your own country. Tell me how it goes. And Charlie will be trying to edge around to get up and leave.
Shorts Kid places both of their hands on Charlie's chest and says, that's it! I want to make my own country!
I don't think Charlie has a reaction to that other than just sitting there and just kind of like wide-eyed, not staring at Shorts Kid, just staring off into absolute nothing, contemplating the weight of that statement that Shorts Kid doesn't realize that it has.
I want to make my own country, and I want it to be safe, and I want people to be happy there, and I don't want people to have to suffer from things that we can prevent. And Shorts Kid leans back and grins and says, "Yeah, my own country."
Welcome to the concept of utopias. They don't work.
Well, not if you act like that. You gotta put some
Yeah.
work into it. Gotta roll up your sleeves and you gotta give it your best shot. If you just say it's not gonna work, then of course it's not gonna work because you're not gonna put any effort into it. And I really, really want you to help me. And you could be like my secretary of sneaky people so that we know about the sneaky people before they get here and then we can figure out what to do about them.
I see why you're coming to me about this and not your dad. Oh, God. So,
That's
how do you
good,
plan?
but
How do you plan to go about making your own country then? Where are you gonna have it? You got a nice big chunk of land somewhere. You've spoken to the king about ceding from his place. Got your own army to defend the place.
uh,
What you got?
Shorts Kid pulls out their 50 gold and sets it down on the table and says, "Currently, I've got 50 gold, which means
Right.
that
So you can feed and pay your army for about the 3 days if you're stingy.
I don't need an army."
This is the point where Charlie's just gonna kind of fold his arms on the table and thunk, there goes his head.
Look, I'm gonna do this anyway. I just want to give you a shot to, help. Because I love you and I know you're really good at this sort of thing. And I know you've been hurt a lot in the past, but doesn't that mean that you kind of want to help other people even if it might not be successful?
I'm already doing that, kid. That's that's part of my whole job. I'm getting back at those that are taking it from others, and I'm giving it to those that need it. And I keep some for myself because you know what? I'm one of those people that need it. I got people I need to look after,
And
but that's me looking out for me and my own.
that's that's what NASA is, but everyone is our own. I know it's really easy to focus on just like a few people, but literally everyone is just a person, like everyone is a friend you haven't met yet. Unless they're a jerk and try to kill your dad.
Yeah, that's kind of the more likely one you're gonna come across with plans like this. That's a problem. Because you're gonna get plenty of people that are come wanting help, and yeah, fair enough. You want to give them help. You problem is, kid, you don't have the resources, and if I could give them to you, I would, but oh,
So, my whole idea of why I want it to be an association is because there are guilds, right?
yeah,
And guilds do jobs for specifically for money or for goods or for like trade services apparently. And Shorts Kid is reading something under the table.
could Charlie just try and grab it, please?
Yeah, so roll dex.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm good at Dex. A That's a 13. God, he rolls.
You try, but Shorts Kid just kind of slides it away, uses their foot to plant it in the middle of your chest as they hold it away. But you can now see the cover, and it says economics for third graders.
That's all the answers that Charlie needed, frankly.
And Shorts Kid tucks it back into their hammer space, and then says, "I know you need money to make money, and I know that businesses need capital to make capital. Is that? Yeah, that's what it says. So, what I'm planning on doing is I have 50 gold, right? And I've scouted out right here." And Shorts Kid then pulls out Charlie's chicken nugget.
Rescued from the floor.
Yep. and sets it down on a spot that's like right between Toontown and the Uncanny Valley, right in the middle. And it's actually you see now that there's it's a big sort of circle, and Short Kid places the chicken nugget down on the circle and says, "There's a lot of land in Inkwell that just isn't being used or isn't owned because it costs a lot of money to upkeep land and a lot of resources to manage the people in that land. Villages specifically have to uh gather a bunch of notes and stuff and send it to the capital a lot, and not everybody wants to do that. Some people just want to live in the woods, and that's valid. But I specifically have 50G, and I went down to the Toontown Registry of unowned land, and this circle, Shorts Kid points and sticks their hand down, this circle is 50 gold coins.
You're certainly getting a good price for it, I gotta say. Ugh.
So what I'm gonna do, no matter what you do, is I'm going to buy this circle, and I'm going to make it the head of operations for NASA.
You know what, kid? If this were any other week, I'd humor you. This is like, you know what? It's your money. You get to do what you like with it. I'm gonna walk out of this place and I'm gonna tell your dad because I'm fairly sure he'd have a couple of arguments here.
You can't tell my dad!
You haven't made me promise anything.
Shorts Kid holds out a pinky. You can't tell my dad.
I'm not agreeing to shit, kid. Can't make me.
Shorts Kid lunges forward and wraps their pinky around yours.
No, Charlie is shoving his hands in his fucking pocket. Good luck finding them.
You can't tell my dad. He worries enough.
Kid, when you're going to go plan out and like steal your own country from fucking Altway Giznap. Just had to take a second there to remember his name.
No, it's alright.
Like, when you're going to like plan out and like steal a chunk of land from Altway Giznap, and I know you're buying it, on like the slightly more legal way, and I'll give you that. His problem is, fucker up there, wearing the crown, he doesn't want anyone coming to try and steal even an iota of his power. I can promise you that, because that's what anyone that gets that sort of power is the sort of person to do. You are gonna do this, and you are gonna buy that land, and then you're gonna have no money to building any infrastructure, to making sure you've got the resources. If this were any other week, I'd humor you in this little game. But if you spend that money, it is gone. And if you try and get more, you're just gonna wind up with even less because of people like me who haven't got a fucking moral backbone to be seen for miles.
Why are you trying to stop me if you don't have a moral backbone?
You know, that's a good fucking question, kid.
You know, you could just be like, oh yeah, Shorts Kid, I think you should totally do it. In fact, why don't you just give me those 50G? I'll go buy the land for you. And then you would take the 50G and you would just like, I don't know, throw it at seagulls because you're such a jerk.
Alright, want to hand over the gun money and we'll go throw it at seagulls then, because I promise you it's going to be more productive than this.
But you're not a jerk, because you're trying to convince me to not do something dumb in your eyes with my money.
That's because I'm trying to help you learn the lessons I had to learn the hard way, kid.
Well, you're probably not gonna then. I want to give you a chance to... I'm gonna make a stupid decision. I'm gonna make this stupid decision, and it's gonna be dumb, it's gonna be horrible. But I know that you've made a lot of stupid decisions, and I don't want you to prevent me from making my mistakes. I want to make my mistakes because that's how you learn. I want you to be there so we can take a mistake and we can turn it into something that isn't necessarily a mistake.
Right, you know what? give me that piece of paper. And he grabs a napkin, pulls a pen out of his pocket, and just starts writing down a list of like housing, food, different sorts of resources, some sort of security force, people who are able to do all the paperwork that needs doing, people who will be able to build all the houses, and like just starts writing down a list of everything that Short's kids seems to have forgotten to think about, as far as Charlie can tell. Because considering the book on economics that Short's kid has, they probably have thought about it a little bit, but didn't necessarily consider it.
Again,
And
they're 8, almost 9.
yeah. So like just writes down this list, and it gets to like 30 items long, and then flips the napkin over, and then on the other side starts writing things that people are going to need help with, because a lot of it's going to be financial stuff, some of it's going to be home, some of it's going to be people running away from abusive situations, sometimes it's going to just be people looking to fucking reinvent themselves, and it's going to be a lot of people. And then he starts going, all right, yeah, then you'll need to have like resources for people to get to this place in the first place, because there's no point in having any sort of sanctuary if no one can fucking find it in the middle of the uncanny valley. And he completely fills up that side of the napkin as well, and then just goes, all right, well, that's maybe half of it, and slides it back towards you. If you can come up with solutions to every single one of these problems, then I'll help you out. Because you can't just go to this. Oh god!
Short's kid jumps up and gives him an enormous kiss on the cheek.
God, I get it.
And then rubs their cheek against Charlie's cheek, and there are just excited child noises coming out of Short's kid. Just, thank you, you won't regret it. You're gonna be the best business partner. We're gonna do all of the things, and I'm so happy. And now that you officially have a job with me, you can't work for the Jester.
What? what was that about? What?
I heard you at the thing. You asked if the Jester was hiring, and I was worried. But you just proved everything good about you that I thought about you before.
Kid, that was it's just a joke, kid. It's fine. Like,
no,
did you come up with all this just to try and keep me here?
Well, actually, no. A lot of this I came up with because I genuinely do want to help people. And also, I want to say fuck you to the Jester. And also, I want to make sure that you don't make too bad of a mistake. I want to give you all the options so you can make your own decision. But I want to make some of the options, good options, even if they're harder.
Kid, it's more complicated than that, Look, thank you. Again, not helping you until you find like a way to properly solve every single one of these, and like some more then, because this place, like 50 gold's not going to be enough, I promise you that.
Short Kid says, who said I only had 50 gold?
Charlie gestures at the bag of gold sitting in the center of the table.
Short's Kid digs through their pockets, pulls out a bag of 1,000 gold.
What the? Where did you get that?
And then Short's Kid reaches into their pocket again and pulls out a very fancy-looking letter with the seal of the Prince of Jiznep on it.
Okay, this is me stepping out of being Charlie for a second to say, the fuck?
Yeah, I came up with this during the last 24 hours.
What? How? Why? How? What? When the fuck did Short's Kid meet Eek? What the fuck?
It's been a week since that last thing. Short's Kid has been planning this for an entire week. And you know how when you're a kid, sometimes you write letters to Santa, or to the Tooth Fairy, or to the President.
Oh god. Charlie has immediate, Thing is, there is a little bit of Charlie has been hanging out with Vincent for too long because there is a little part of Charlie that's kind of just looking at that money now and knowing, yeah, that could really change some lives. And yes, okay, it's meant to be for this big startup thing that's meant to change a lot more lives. But also that Charlie has a lot of little problems in his kind of, immediate livelihood, and stuff like that would clear up a lot of it. But also, I suppose he's made a promise to this kid now, so he can't. And
Shorts kid then lifts up the
yeah,
letter.
he's open mouths, just jaw dropped, as he's kind of wondering what the fuck's going on here.
So, I knew that the king wouldn't want to do anything about it because Dad complains about him a lot, and a lot of people at Dodo Studios complain about him a lot. So, I went looking. I went looking into people who specifically have a lot of money and power and might want to help people. And wouldn't you know, I found these really old flyers for people to meet at the first draft house, and they were put up by someone named Ekim, right? So I did more research on that, and apparently he's the first prince of our country. So I wrote him a letter, and he wrote back, and this is that letter. And then I wrote him again, and then he wrote me again, and basically we've been using teleportation magic for the past 2 days, and he's been telling me the stuff that you've been saying, sort of, but last night I sent him one last letter, and he sent me this bag of coins.
Kid, if you got someone like that on your side, why do you need anyone like me?
Because I love you.
Can you please roll insight again for me real quick? Okay, that's 14. All right, with that, you do actually see Charlie flinch at that. You can't quite figure out why, because he's got some pretty fucking unreadable emotions on his face. And again, he's a con artist. It's kind of his job to keep up an act. But yeah, you get a second where you see him flinch when you say that you love him, and before he kind of pulls it back up, like pulls whatever act back in, and seems a little bit more withdrawn, and reaches over and just kind of scruffles your head again and is like, love you too, kid. Like,
and
I suppose I've made a promise now, I can't exactly do much else, but yeah. Fix those problems. Talk with your fucking prince. Maybe this might work.
Shorts kid then opens the bag of 1,000 gold coins, and you can look over this letter, and the handwriting is actually really nice and dyslexia friendly. And you see that it's a letter that says grant approved for the organization NASA, and also it says under that, I'm wishing you the best. I really hope that you make a difference. And then the signature of Ekim Jiznep, and under that it says P.S. I hope your friend feels better.
That hurts! That hurts.
And Shorts kid then reaches into the bag, and they say, okay, so here we go, and they spend time and they count out 100G, and then they push it over to you.
Charlie pushes it right back.
No. This is your consultation fee.
Kid, I'm not taking anything.
I know that you've had some money problems before, and I know that's why you do a bunch of crimey stuff, and maybe it's not even totally crime because you're taking from people who don't deserve it. So, I'm going to pay you this consultation fee, and you've already made a promise to help me, So, this is for you. This is so you can take Ellie and vent out somewhere nice, and so you can pay your rent for as long as you need to pay your rent while we try to establish NASA. You could do whatever you want with the rest of the money.
Charlie is gonna stand up and he's gonna edge past you and he's not gonna say anything. He's not gonna look at you.
You can also
You
think
can...
of it as a bribe if that makes it better.
Yeah, no, that doesn't make it better. I'm gonna keep rolling off like the insight check that you rolled before and kind of like I'm gonna say you can kind of see, yeah, you mentioned like it as a bribe instead, and you see Charlie's shoulders tense up, and it's just, kid, I'm the wrong person to help you out here.
But you
I said that I
aren't.
would, so I will, but I'm the wrong person.
You're not. If you were the wrong person, I don't think you would complain nearly as much.
I mean, that's true. I reckon if you'd brought this up with Vin, he would have taken it straight away.
It's the fact that you're torn about it that means that I'm making the right choice. Because only people who've been in that spot before, only people who've been hurt like that, only they are the ones who are reluctant.
Why are you doing this now?
And Short's kid then jumps out of their seat and summons their just so they can have a stool in midair. They summon their floating disc and stand on top of it and look Charlie directly in the eyes. Their sclera don't go purple this time, but instead little like purple black holes open up in their irises, and they say, "Because I love you."
There isn't any flinch this time, because Charlie could kind of see that coming. He does
want to help you. I want you to be helped. I want you to have a good life. I want you to make good choices. I want you to make choices that maybe aren't the best, but they still won't hurt you for making them. I love you, and I want you to be happy.
Too late for that, kid. And Charlie picks up the gold that you had left on the table, shoves it all back in the bag, and shoves the bag at your chest. Get that out of sight. Keep it in your hammer space. There's too many thieves around here. Keep it safe. Good luck on whatever this is.
Well, you already promised to help, so unless you want to be a big liar, pants on fire.
Well, that's my whole job, isn't it, after all?
Short's kid then jumps on him.
Please roll dexterity. Fuck.
God damn it.
I fucking won. That's a 23 and a 24 for listeners. Yeah, no, you get this moment, you do manage to leap perfectly at Charlie. And then what Charlie does is definitely not something conscious. This is very much instinct in that he just grabs you and flips you backwards. And for a fucking second, you are gonna just get pinned to the floor with this cat that is twice your height holding you down for a second. And then there's this moment where Charlie just realizes what the fuck just happened, and he backs out of there, and he is about to make a dash for the door.
Short's kid has conked their head on the floor, on the tile, and goes, "Ow! That stung!" And then they sit up and they go, "You know, you could just say you don't want a hug." It's okay. And they look up and they're like, I've had worse.
Okay, yeah, no, Charlie's just gonna run out the door, and the moment he's around a corner, he's gonna turn himself invisible and just keep fucking running. He's not gonna head back home. He's just out of there. Um,
Shorts
fuck.
Kid will accept that because sometimes you need a little space to think. A
Yeah.
little space to think.
That was terrible. God damn it. I'm on the edge of tears here, and you're making terrible puns.
I can do both.
That's fair. That's fair.
So, Shorts Kid then finishes their shake because they're not about to waste food like that, but then folds up their plans for NASA and has the letter and then takes out another sheet of paper and writes in terrible child script, he's in, with a bunch of smiley faces, and then folds it up, puts a stamp in the corner, and on their way back to Dodo Studios, drops it in a teleportation mailbox.
That's really fucking cute. I'm also very upset right now.
And then, like, Shorts Kid actually stops down by the town hall, what they were talking about earlier, and buys the land for 50 gold.
Well, I guess that's something we're gonna have to deal with in the future, isn't it?
You know, there's only one more act of the silver screen.
Oh gods. That's scary. I haven't even listened to it, but that's scary.
There's only one more act of the silver screen, so I'm already planning for another campaign.
Okay. Oh dear.
So
Oh dear.
Shorts Kid buys that land, and they have it now. And now NASA is its own little pocket protectorate. And Charlie, you may have run and you're off thinking somewhere, but you did actually make an impact on Shorts Kid's thinking process. You did. And
In
it
that
was a
you're actually gonna have to fucking think it out.
yes. You have gotten the 9-year-old to think. Otherwise they would have made Charlie do the whole thing.
God, no, no. Charlie's not doing that. That's not his job. If you want that done, you gotta fucking listen. Charlie is not the smart one.
So Shorts Kid goes home to Dodo Studios, goes downstairs where their dad is still working on stuff, and then presents to him the idea of NASA.
And that's gonna be something that Mod gets to deal with.
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh dear. Okay. I don't really have anything to properly wrap this up with. Because Charlie is gonna just currently be having a panic attack on a rooftop somewhere because, you know, at least if he's up there, no one's gonna go bumping into him. No one can really find him. Um,
Hey,
he
it's an
will,
FPS. It's about character development. And if that's his
yeah,
character development,
yeah, he will eventually go home. He is not telling his boyfriend any of this. And yeah, Shorts, I will say the next day, Shorts Kid will wake up to find a little folded note on her floor, absolutely covered in glitter glue, of course. Glitter glue and little holographic stickers. Just saying sorry.
and Shorts Kid is okay with that. Because they presented the idea, and they got feedback, and Charlie did say he would help. So, even if he needs a little bit of time to back up a bit and think, or even if he wants to totally duck out, that's fine. They presented the idea. They planted that seed of goodness. Let's see where it goes.
And I think that's a good point to end it.
So I'm gonna stop recording.